Alright, 2025 is now over. Oh, ho, ho, what a hell of a year. But now it's time to take care of a little tradition that I started like a couple of years ago, to go back into 2025 and to see, okay, what were the best solos of the last year? Here we go. The solos that I'm going to show you in this video is not in a particular order. Well, okay, the last solo is probably my favorite solo from 2025, and the solo that I highly recommend to check out. One of the best solos from the last 10 years probably, but the rest, they are not in a particular order. They are all really, really great. Let's get into it. Let's start with somebody where it's not necessarily a secret that he is probably one of my favorite guitar players of all time. Of course, we're talking about Mr. John Petrucci. Dream Theater has released a new record this year. It is my favorite record of the year. It is one of the best records that they produced in the last 10-15 years. I absolutely love the new record. But the solos on there, not too many really catched me in a specific way. Like, you know, they used to catch me in Constant Motion or on the Octavarium or whatnot. But there's one solo where you have to say honors where honors due. It is Bend the Clock from the newest record. The songs itself, you know, Shadow Man Incident, great riffing. The riffing is definitely one of the best points and one of the best aspects of the new record. The songs, the riffing, the melody, the groove, top notch. The solos, but Bend the Clock is definitely up there. Especially a song that starts with, you know, like a new soul kind of chord progression. Really a little bit untypical playing for Petrucci, but the solo is typical Petrucci, and it showcased perfectly what Petrucci can do best. Not necessarily shredding, not necessarily fast playing. Of course, he's as well, they are extremely good, but I think personally his best side were always like more the melodic side, the emotional side, if you want to say it like this. And here in that solo, he perfectly can combine the melodic aspect of Dream Theater, the melodic aspect of that song, and the beauty of that song together with some really cool shred moments that happened later in that song. Because another aspect why Petrucci is one of the best guitar players there is he knows how to build up a solo. He knows how to start calmly with a melody, how to embrace the melody, but also how to evolve the melody into some interesting fast shredding. So that's definitely a solo that I highly recommend if you are more on the mellow side, but also like some fast shredding. Bend the Clock by John Petrucci. Going from John Petrucci to the next generation John Petrucci, which is for me personally, Baxi. One of my favorite modern guitar players. I absolutely love his style, I love his playing, I love his technique. He is always a big inspiration for me whenever I feel, you know, a bit demotivated or whatnot. I love to watch videos from guitar players that are so many levels above me, because that inspires me to, hey, okay, one day I want to play that lick like Baxi, I want to play like this. So get down in your practice dojo and start practicing the hell out of your guitar. Baxi's solo in the song Game that he produced for Neural DSP is shred-delicious as hell. He starts with some incredible runs, some incredible picking, and goes into his, you know, unique kind of melodic approach and phrasing, creating this really cool atmosphere, this really cool mystical kind of atmosphere. And I really love the chord progression that he's using there. These, you know, major chords shifting in minor thirds. Something that I learned in university is called unimodality polytonality, so that you have one mode, like in this case Lydian, but shifting it through the tonality, like going from C Lydian to E flat Lydian to G Lydian, all these kind of things. And if you're a fan of modern shred, another solo will come again in the end of this video, which I highly recommend, but definitely worth to check out the Game by Baxi. Go from South America to Europe, to Germany, to Leipzig, around that direction, this direction here. Like, you have to drive like 5 hours into that direction and you will come to a place where somebody is lived called Martin Miller. Now, Martin is a familiar name here on this channel. I mention Martin a lot. He's a really great guy. I really like his playing, and I mentioned him once in, I think, my video about the best solos of the 2010s or 2020s? No, 2010s. It was 2010s, yes. And this year, of course, Martin has released music together with his session band, his big YouTube collaboration project where he is playing music live together, always with a great artist, a great guest. You know, he had Paul Gilbert, he had Andy Timmons, he had so many great guitar players, and there he has, what's the name of the blues guitar player again? I can't remember right now. I'm not into this kind of style. Is it John Baxley? Something like that. But they were playing Sweet Child of Mine of Guns N' Roses. And there it showcased the best sides of Martin. Martin's solos are always extremely well crafted. The lines, they lead perfectly to a specific point, which is really important when you're writing solos, that your melodies, your speed licks, your lines are going into somewhere. It's saying something. When it's just playing and it does not resolve into anything, it does not have an impact, it does not have meaning. So it is really important that your lines, that your licks, that your shred stuff that you're practicing is going into a specific direction. And Martin is perfectly showcasing it with this solo again, because again, yeah, I think one of Martin's biggest strengths is the way how he writes solos. And especially here, a really interesting, nice take on Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses with a solo from Martin Miller. Going from Germany to Japan to, I would say, the only solo that I have here on the list from the last shred collaboration by 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙤𝙢. There are usually some really great solos on the 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢 shred collaboration, but there's also a lot of crap in it. I'm sorry, I'm not the biggest fan of all of it. I like 30% or 40%. I mean, it is hard to really impress me nowadays as a guitar player. And a lot of stuff is in there where I think like, it's not mine. It's not my kind of taste, my kind of, you know, not playing, but where I think, could be better a little bit, to be honest. I'm sorry about that. Yes, truth to be told, it could be better here and there. But anyways, there's one guitar player in there which melted my face with his insane shredding. He's from Japan, and of course I'm talking about Onityan. His solo on the 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢's last shred collaboration is again top-notch. There he showcased what kind of interesting sounds and colors you can create by combining arpeggios, by expanding your arpeggios vocabulary with different arpeggios that are not diatonical, that are coming from a different key, from a different scale, and how you can expand your sound and your colors with that. Together, of course, with a top-notch technique, incredible shredding. Highly recommend out Onityan solo from 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢's last shred collaboration. Now let's go a little bit away from the too fast, too furious guitar playing to a little bit more mellow side. And there I highly recommend to check out the song Sandglass by Jack Gardner. Jack has released so much music this year, so many great collaborations with so many great artists, but here, especially in this solo, I really love the touch and the melody, the phrasing and the dynamic. Phrasing and dynamic. I tell you, this is really important from Jack. I had Jack here on an interview, and Jack is a phenomenal person, a phenomenal player. I absolutely love his kind of style. I'm a huge fan of this. I mean, he has really some really cool fusion, tapping, stretch arpeggio stuff this year, especially like that last song that he's constantly playing in his Instagram reels, which I really like because it's super, super catchy. Super great. But here in this solo, he really shows how beautiful he can handle dynamic phrasing melody. This guitar sings. But also what is singing here is not only his guitar, but the guitar of Andy Timmons, which he had the honor to play with on that song. And that's the next solo that I highly recommend. It is the second solo of the song Sunglasses by Andy Timmons. I discovered Andy really, really late. I'm really late to the Andy Timmons party. I talked about him and analyzed him on my Patreon channel, and I really start to love his records from the 2000s. The playing there, the melody, the phrasing, it's incredible. The sound, the touch, the feel, it's hard to describe. I fell in love with Andy's playing, and I thought to myself, why now? Why in 2025? I'm playing guitar now for over 20 years. And yes, I knew, Groove or Die. I've played Groove or Die. Some friends of mine, like Martin Miller, are big fans of Andy Timmons, but I never got really into him until this year. Nowadays, he's also creating some really interesting and incredible music, like that song with Jake Gardner, Sunglasses. Highly recommend if you are a fan of mellow, more kind of dynamic playing, not too much there, Fast and Furious kind of side. Check out these solos. Right, but enough emotions, enough crying around. Let's go back to the Fast and Furious side of shredding, to my good friend 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏 has released a really great record this year with one of his new bands. He started to get into new bands recently after he left Obscura, and now decided to not play too much live anymore and focusing on releasing records, releasing new Eternity's End record, which will come out next year probably, or this year, like 2026. We're heavily working on it, and I can guarantee you, when this would be released in 2025, one of these solos would be one of the best solos of 2025, because what 𝗏𝗏 is writing there is, again, top-notch, and I can't wait to share my influence and my solos on the new Eternity's End record as well. If you are new to this channel and you don't know what Eternity's End is, and you are a fan of Racer X, of Cacophony, of the late 80s Shrapnel era, check out Eternity's End, because you will start to love it. I guarantee to you. You will. The last record, check out the last record, you will love it. I love it as a fan of Racer X and Cacophony. Of course, I love it because I'm on it, but it is great. Check it out. I'm usually not so proud of the music that I create and the art that I create, but on that record, I'm really proud of. And he started to join a band called Asheton. This is, if you are a fan of Necrophagist and Obscura, you have to check out this record. It's pure, beautiful tech death madness. Madness in quotes, because with 𝗏𝗏, he's a master in solo architecture. The way how he writes solos, the way how he includes symmetrical scales, Messiaen mode number 3, and, tapped major 7#11 arpeggios that he's shifting around in minor thirds. I love to have conversations with 𝗏𝗏 about that. The first time I met him in 2019, we were extremely nerding out about these symmetrical shapes and these shifting arpeggios and creating these new sounds with modern music harmony, with 20th century music harmony, like Schoenberg, like Hans Eisler, or the second Vienna school. Oh, it's so much fun to nerd around about these things with Christian. And he's perfectly showing this in the song Antimatter of 𝙎𝙤𝙀𝙀. And now let's go to, in my opinion, the best solo of 2025. And in 2025, I have to say a lot of music was released by guitar players, by new guitar players, where I started to understand or to see like, it's not my kind of thing anymore. I'm not into that. I'm now 35. It's absolutely fine to now say, okay, I don't have to like what an 18-year-old kid's like, you know? And there are a lot of guitar players here which are so fake. It's the next level of fake. It's really like they start to create sounds that are not reproducible with a normal guitar. They're not playing guitar anymore. They're really playing computer nowadays. And I don't want to sound like, you know, the old Pepper Farmage kind of guy, boomer kind of guy, like, oh, back in the day. I mean, I do edit my stuff. We do a lot of stuff with these kind of things, but at least it's all reproducible on an instrument. These sounds, they are not, that is not guitar anymore. But there's one player who perfectly can combine this fake sound and can create a natural touch to it, a natural vibe to it, is creating this kind of extremely fake, in quote, because by him it's not fake, but this really digital, crazy sounds which need a lot of processing power from neural DSP quad codecs and I don't know what kind of RAM and what kind of technology he needs to create his sounds. But he take this kind of really artificial sound and is playing incredible blues phrases with that. And I'm of course talking of Spyro, especially with the song Dash Out by 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙦. It's actually a rap song. I really like this kind of rap feeling. I'm a fan of rap music. I here and there sometimes listen to rap. I always try to listen to rap when I get into the mood of filming, to get into the mood. But here, 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢 is like animals as leaders meets rap music, and then he had as a guest artist Spyro creating a guest solo for that. And this solo, oh god damn it, again, artificial sound, crazy new kind of sound, never heard this kind of guitar tone before, together with some cool blues phrasing, some really great shredding. And I know by Spyro that he can play that. It's not fake. It sounds fake, but it sounds fake by purpose. It's not an accident, or he wants to have it sound this kind of artificial and fake. He showcased it on his Instagram stories, that how much of a latency he has when he is playing this kind of stuff, because so far no machine could handle this kind of sound. It is really pure magic. I'm so fascinated of what he's doing there. And then his playing as well is incredible. I don't want to talk too much. Here we go. Spyro with Dash Out by 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢. Okay, guitar chimps, so much for my favorite guitar solos from 2025. I can't wait for 2026. 2026 is going to be so much more of a better year than 2025. 2025, the last half of 2025, was really shitty. Really, really shitty. I mean, you have seen it in the uploads that I had here recently, which are basically none. So we are back, I'm back, 2026 is there, it's time to grab your guitar, it's time to start shredding and to spreading the love for our favorite instrument, the favorite type of music that we're doing, metal, shred, fast and furious. I'm going to see you in my next video. If you like this video, feel free to consider giving a thumb up, giving it a nice comment, giving it a bad comment. I wish you a lot of fun learning, practicing and mastering the guitar. Cheers and pour your progress. Bye.